Thanks for watching another episode of the Be Your Hero Gaming channel where we talk about gaming and how you can be a hero in your real lives. This episode's hero segment I'm going to leave till the end, and you're going to see why here in just a second. I don't want to spoil anything about what I'm going to talk about this game, and so I'm going to leave that till the end. Today, I'm going to talk to you about the game Flock Together, which we picked up at Gen Con this year, and I think this game is brand new. I think it just came out, and they were kind of debuting this game at Gen Con, and we were able to see kind of a demo there of this game set up, and we ended up, we thought about it the whole time, and at the very end, we ended up buying one of them. Now, let me talk a little bit about how you play the game, and then I'll talk about kind of my initial thoughts about the game. So first of all, you have these chicken books here, which you will, there's a whole bunch of them, and you can either randomly take one or the rules suggest ones to start out with. But essentially, you start out as a chick, and as you gain levels, you will progress in your abilities to a grown-up chicken or rooster until you get level 3, I think is max you get. So you start out as a chick, you go next level, and then the next level. And as you level up, you're going to gain these abilities over here. You can see on this side, they're grayed out. You only have this one here. And then as you gain the next level, you'll gain the next ability. And as you gain the final level, it's over here. You'll gain the final ability, okay? So that's kind of the way these chickens work. You also will assign random enemies. In this case, I've just set a couple of them out. The rules suggest to enemies to start out with if you're playing for the first time. And again, kind of the same idea. The enemies will kind of start out rather weak, and then they will progress and have more health here as the enemies grow. So you want to kind of knock the enemies out right away, or else they will progress. Now, the way that works is you play through turn sequences, and each time everybody takes a turn is around, this windmill will progress down the track. Once it gets to the end of the season here, all the enemies will level up. Once you play through 3 seasons, the game is over. Now, at the beginning of each round, depending on which season it is, you're going to start with spring and then go to summer and then to fall. You will take one of these cards here and flip it over, and it will go in the weather card here, and that will grant you some kind of ability. So for spring here, fair weather, this is a good card. If you forage at least once on your turn, gain an additional food token, okay? And they're not all good. Sometimes bad things will happen during spring. So for example, nighttime, once during this phase, you must perform 1 less action. So depending on which card is drawn, and you can see here that you only get a new season card here and here. So there's a number of different season cards, but you're probably only going to use like 3 of them as you progress it. It's been a while since we played this. I hope I'm not telling you the rules wrong. But you only turn over 3 of these cards, and so some of them won't be used, and so another game you can shuffle these up, and it might be a little bit different for the next season. Okay, now on your turn, there's essentially a couple of things that you do is put this up here. First of all, you get to produce, whichever this up here in the corner says. This says you get an additional food token, which goes in your food reservoir here. This is where you keep your eggs. And then you get to take 2 of these actions here listed at the bottom. Some of these actions have a little hen house biome here. That means this must be done inside the coop. You have to be inside the coop to perform these actions here. Obviously, you can move anywhere, draw a card, you can be anywhere. Attack, you have to be on the enemy's space. If you want to eat or forage, you can see the grass symbol here. You have to be outside if you want to do one of these 2. And outside, essentially, you're just at one of these locations here where the enemies are, makes you outside. Once you have defeated the 3 enemies, the boss will be revealed. This is a kind of a mystery enemy here. You'll just set out, and that will be closed. So you won't know who that is. Depending on which phase you're in, if you're still in the first phase or second or third, will determine what level. Actually, you know what? I take that back. Maybe the boss goes right to level 3. I can't remember. Anyway, the boss is revealed once the other enemies are defeated, and once you defeat the boss, you have won the game. And again, obviously, you're playing this game cooperatively, and you're trying to win together. On another feature of the player's boards here is this is your health of these little wooden tokens here. And as you take a hit point off, you just flip that over like that. And then as you gain it back, you flip it back over. As you level up, you will gain more health and you'll be able to add tokens here. And the way you track that is you take a food token here and you stick it in your meal counter. And as this moves over here, it counts all the meals you've taken. And you can see here, it tells you over here how many meals you need to level up. So 6, I think that's what this is. 6 meals here, you will go to this one, and then 12, you'll go to this one, to level 3. Okay, now, this is the thing that bothers me about game designers, and this game is a perfect example. The reason why we bought this game was because of the way it looks. And really the way the game was pitched to us was the deluxe components. And it really does have amazing components. So this here is a metal turn order token here. It's a pretty hefty piece of metal here that you use to count whose turn it is. And you just keep, the starting player. And then this will rotate for each round. These are all wooden tokens here that you can see have screen printed on both sides of each token. Very cool there. These eggs are really hefty. And I don't know if you've ever played Wingspan, but they're a lot heavier than the Wingspan eggs. I think they're plastic, but they're very hefty eggs there. The dice are, it's kind of a funny thing, anatomically correct dice. You have the 6 here, which is the chicken face. This is the back of the chicken. I don't know what you want to call that, but that's the 1. The wings are, you see here, 3 and 4 are the wings. The head is a 5, and there's the feet, which is a 2. Okay, so kind of fun little dice there that's anatomically correct. You have this windmill token here, again, printed on both sides that counts which round it is. All the cards are linen finish. The cards are amazing. Even the rule book. The rule book is a really nice, thick linen finish rule book. And it was the rule book is very colorful and laid out well. And just really nice paper. It was a joy to kind of go through and read that. It comes with several of these little nest boxes here, or containers for you to put eggs. You can put dice in them, or I think it comes with like 6 of these. You can put additional eggs. There's more eggs and food tokens that I haven't put on the table that you could kind of spread around the table so everybody can share. So there's a bunch of these containers here. Your character tokens, again, are these fancy little chickens here that are printed on both sides. And it doesn't matter which color you are. You simply put the colored token, into here to remind you what color token you are. Again, an extra action token, which is wooden. You can flip it over like that. The character books are nice spiral bound, linen finished books. There's even a little slot here cut out for your spirals to fit inside of there. These are cut out to put your food tokens and your egg tokens in here. Everything's nicely printed out here on the bottom as far as the actions that you can take. Again, these boards are double layers, so you can stick the things in there. These hit point counters, you have to assemble, but these things fit together really tight. And so they're really nice. They feel good to turn these. And I know some of these hit point counters, you bump them and they'll start spinning. These are really tight. And so whatever you set it to, it will stay there unless you grab a hold of it and move it around. Same thing with the enemy booklets here. Nice linen finish on these enemy booklets. And there's even a little blurb, I think, on each of the enemies on the back. And same thing with the chickens about who they are and where they came from. What else? It's this gigantic board. Another one of the options is you can go and try to fight. This is one of the actions you can take. Fight one of these, I can't remember what they call them, the grubs, which you can fight a grub inside the coop or you can fight a grub outside the coop. And then again, nice linen finish, beautiful art on these as far as the ants. You can go get some 4-leaf clovers. And each one of these you defeat will give you some kind of special ability. All these different grubs here. Now, this is the issue I have with this game is, again, it was pitched to us basically with the components of the game. which are really nice, as I just went through. The components are amazing. The box is amazing. The box has printing inside the box as well as outside. The box is really nice. But the game is just kind of okay. In fact, it's really hard. And we actually went through the rule book a couple of times to make sure we were playing correctly. I don't think we've won the game once. We've played 4 or 5, maybe 6 times, and we've lost every time. Even though we've played according to the intro suggestions for the chickens. These are not them. I just set these out randomly. The intro suggestions for the chickens you should use and the enemies you should use, I think we got stomped every time. Maybe as we play it more, we will get better at playing. But after playing a few times, it kind of had lost its luster for us. It wasn't that fun anymore. Here are, again, let me just go briefly through the actions that you can take here. Whoops, I'm losing my chicken book here. Okay, you can lay an egg. Okay, you simply are at the coop here, inside the coop, and you get an egg to add to your reservoir. Let me take this off. Add to your reservoir over here, okay? Also inside the coop, you can heal. If you have a food token, you can pay 1 food token and you can turn a health marker back over. Okay, if you're a chick, you can only do 1 of those. If you're in the middle, you can do 2. If you're full grown, rooster or hen, you can do 3 as a max. Again, 1 food token per health that you heal. You can brood inside the coop. You can pay 1 egg to revive another player. Skip your next turn. So if a player has been taken down, you can revive that player inside the coop. You can move to a different location. You can draw a bonus card. These bonus cards up here will give you different actions and abilities that will help you along the way. You can attack. So 1 food token per attack power. So this where I have 2 attack power, I've got to use 2 food tokens to do that. You can eat. You can pay a food token to increase your meal counter to level up. Okay, again, it's got to be done outside. As a chick, you can do 1 max. In the middle, you can do 2 max. Again, 1 food token for each one. Or you can forage. If you're outside, you gain a food token. Okay, so here's another one of the issues I have with this. These food tokens are all different. Fancy mice and bugs and worms and pieces of corn. And the different food tokens don't mean anything. And so I just kind of wondered why this looked really cool. All these different kinds of food tokens. I thought, oh, what does a lizard do? What does a bug do? Well, they all do the same thing. Okay, there's no difference in which food token you use. This is simply for variety, which, again, it looks amazing, but I would like each food token to mean something, but it doesn't. I understand that about the eggs. That's kind of the same way Wingspan is. It doesn't matter what color of egg you have. That's just for variety. And so maybe that I understand, but this is just a lot of variety, but isn't really that meaningful because the colors don't mean anything. Another thing that I found odd is that some of the actions you have to perform outside. Okay, so the only places where you can go outside is to an enemy. So here, or here, or here, or here. Okay, so you're outside, and so you're at this enemy's location, but you don't have to attack the enemy. You could either eat some food there or forage. It would just seem bizarre that I'm at an enemy's location, and hey, don't worry about me. I'm just going to go over here and eat some food really quick while you're trying to defeat all my chickens. I just found that kind of weird that the outside locations were at an enemy's location. But again, so you can go here and you can either attack the enemy, you can eat to increase your level, or you can forage and look for some food. Which again, it doesn't matter which one you take. I'll take a mouse this time and put it in my food reservoir, or I'll take a bug. It doesn't really matter which ones you take. I wish this had some kind of a meaning there. Defeating the grubs. Okay, so you can be inside to defeat these grubs. To defeat those grubs, you have to be outside. So I could be over here and attack a grub. It just, I don't know, it just seemed kind of weird how I'm over here, but I'm attacking the grub over there. Almost like there should be a location here. And then as far as moving to a location, it doesn't really matter what order you move in. A move is a move. So I could be at this location and I could move to this location. You don't have to go here first and then there. There's no really order in how you move. You just can go to any location when you perform a move action. But And I understand that the game will be different depending on which enemies you use and which chickens you use and which weather cards come up. But that is really the only way a game's going to be different. And you might think, and my initial thought was, oh yeah, that'll add, because I asked the people there. So that's really the only difference between games. There's no progression or something that carries over from game to game. And they said, no, it's not a campaign or anything like that. It's just simply you play the game. And again, initially to me, it sounded kind of intriguing. Oh, it might be fun to try a different chicken, or it might be fun to try a different enemy that has different kind of abilities that might happen to you, or the chickens that have different abilities. But it got kind of stale really fast. Maybe part of it was that we lost all the time, but it was also just, it just didn't offer a lot of variety for us. So not only was it that we lost a lot, but essentially you're just moving around the board, taking actions that don't really seem that meaningful. And so the thing that I like about this game, I would say that I would give it 5 stars for, is the components are amazing. The components are great. And that was the thing that sold me on the game, was that the components were so top notch. But once we started playing the game was just kind of okay. And that's something that I really am bothered by that game designers do. They make a game look really amazing with deluxe components and great artwork. But as far as the mechanics of the game, it was just kind of okay. It wasn't really anything groundbreaking. Again, the leveling up system is kind of amazing. Not amazing. It's nice too. But I just didn't really feel a lot of excitement for pounding through the game. And it was kind of challenging to figure out what to do, because if you spend your time leveling up your chicken, you're not defeating the enemies. And so you get to the end of the season, and so sure, you might have leveled up your chicken, but all the enemies have leveled up as well. And so you're kind of at the same place you started with. And so it's kind of hard to decide what to do. And initially we thought, well, let's just attack the enemies and get rid of them. Well, we did that, but then we weren't working on leveling up our chickens. And so the next round came around, and even though 2 enemies were defeated, the next enemy levels up, and we weren't leveled up yet. And so it was just kind of difficult to decide what to do and what was meaningful. You almost have to go one way or the other. Leave the enemies alone and level up your chickens, or fight the enemies and don't level up your chickens. You kind of can't do both. And so again, that's really the only strategy that there was to playing the game. Do you want to level up, or do you want to fight the enemies? And that's kind of all there was to do. And so again, we just found the game kind of getting a little bit stale after a while. It was just kind of okay. But man, the components are amazing. And I just really wish game designers would spend more time on making sure the game is really intriguing and can last from session to session and from week and year to year, that it'll be something you'll have a passion for, and then think about how to do the components. And I kind of feel like this game was the opposite. They really focused on really amazing artwork and components, and the gameplay was kind of secondary. So with that said, this is the thing I wanted to talk about being a hero in real life. The way you look and the way you present yourself is definitely important. You should try your best to look presentable and to speak and act presentable. But what's inside? What's inside you as far as your personality, your thoughts, and your opinions of other people? Make sure what's on the outside matches what's on the inside. And so I'm not meaning, hey, if you look bad on the outside, be grumpy on the inside. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if you want to look presentable and look nice on the outside, make that your inside too. Don't just deluxify yourself so much that you look great on the outside, but you're not that nice of a person, and you talk bad about people behind their backs. Make sure that what's on the outside also matches what's on the inside. And I really wish that's what more game designers would do. The outside thing that you see here, which just looks great. It's almost great just to look at the game. The game is amazing to look at. But then when you play the game, I found myself getting frustrated. And so make sure those two things match up. The looks and the gameplay, your looks and your personality, that they match up, that you can be positive, you can be a hero in your real lives. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope this was helpful. Maybe some of you love this game and you think it's amazing. If so, I would love to hear why and your thoughts on that. But it just wasn't really for us. And again, that's just my opinion on that. But you guys take care. Thanks for watching. Be heroes out there.